I still hear her screams at night. The sound of her voice, raw with rage and pain, crawls under my skin and stays there. I was just a deckhand, only doing what I was told, but none of us escaped her curse. It was supposed to be a normal trip upriver. A family, a man, his wife, and their little boy had paid for passage on our boat. They looked like any other travelers, a bit nervous maybe, but who wouldn't be? The river was unpredictable, and everyone knew the risks. The husband, tall and broad, carried their boy on his shoulders most of the time. The wife was quiet, her eyes always scanning the water and the faces on board. She didn't trust us. I could feel it every time she looked my way, but I brushed it off. People like them, simple folk, always had their guard up. But I didn't know what the captain had planned. None of us did until it was too late. It started when the husband caught the captain in a lie. The boat wasn't heading where they'd been told. We were going deeper into the marshlands, away from the main river. The husband demanded answers, his voice loud enough to draw everyone's attention. The captain, calm as ever, just smiled and told him to relax. The wife didn't relax. She grabbed her son and whispered something to her husband. She looked scared, and I swear her fear spread like a sickness. Even the other passengers started whispering. That's when it happened. The captain nodded to one of the crew, a man named Kofi, who always carried a knife. I don't know if it was supposed to scare him or what, but Kofi shoved the husband hard, and the man lost his balance. He fell, the splash was loud, and for a second, everything froze. The wife screamed and tried to jump in after him, but another crew member held her back. The river was fast, dark, and full of things that didn't wait for permission to kill. The husband didn't come back up. She didn't cry. Not like you'd expect. She just stood there, holding her son close, staring at the water. When she finally looked up, her eyes were empty. You think you'd get away with this? She said. Her voice was low, shaking. The captain told her to sit down and shut up, but she didn't move. You'll never reach land, she said, louder this time. None of you will. Some of the crew laughed, but I didn't. Something about her voice, like she wasn't just talking, she was commanding. The wind picked up that night, and the boat started to sway harder than usual. The crew tried to steer, but it was like the river had a mind of its own. The water turned blacker than I'd ever seen, and the sound, it wasn't just waves anymore. It was like voices, whispering, laughing. One by one, things started going wrong. First, the food spoiled overnight, maggots crawling in the rice. Then, the engine failed, leaving us drifting in the current. People started falling sick, fevers, hallucinations, screaming in their sleep, and then the disappearances started. The first to go was Kofi. He went overboard during his watch. No one saw how it happened, but we heard the splash and his scream. By the time we got to the side, there was nothing but ripples. After that, no one wanted to be alone. It didn't matter. The river didn't care. Every night, someone else vanished. The wife and her child stayed in the corner of the boat, untouched, her eyes never leaving the water. You should have listened, she told me one night when I was on watch. I didn't answer. What could I say? By the time we reached land, if you can call it that, only 3 of us were left. The wife and her son walked off the boat without looking back. The rest of us stayed, too scared to move, too weak to care. I don't know how I survived, but I wish I hadn't. Every time I close my eyes, I see her face, hear her voice. And I know the river is still waiting for me. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button for more.